What is up, guys? This is Isba here to give you guys a review of WWE's No Way Out pay-per-view. No Way Out just finished, well, a couple hours ago. And I gotta say, overall, it was a damn good show. Wasn't anything great, wasn't as good as last year's. I thought the main event chamber was just as good as last year's main event chamber. It was an awesome match. The opening chamber this year was not as good as last year's, and neither was the undercard, but main event was awesome. Raw chamber match was still really good. U.S. Championship match was okay. Intercontinental title match was better than I thought it was going to be. Women's match was just fuck all. This show, however, while it was not like an amazing show, it was a great lead into WrestleMania. This set up at least 4 matches for Mania in the coming months, especially the bigger matches. So that's something great. Show kicked off with the Raw Elimination Chamber match. It was Randy Orton versus Ted DiBiase versus Kofi Kingston versus Shameus versus Triple H versus John Cena. Now, I do have to say, I am very, very shocked that they dropped the belt off of Shameus, since the big rumor was they were going to have Hunter versus Shameus for the belt, and Hunter was going to put Shameus over. So it was really, really shocking to see Shameus get pinned. However, if they still want to do Hunter and Shameus, then it will be a good lead-in, since, you know, Triple H was the first one to pin Shameus, so it'll be like a great storyline going into Mania. Match overall was a damn good match. It wasn't anything great, not anything match of the year candidate, but it was really good. You know, there were a few nice spots, like the DDT to the outside on the steel was really, really cool, both of them. You know, it did have a nice bit of back and forth action. It got slower toward the end, but it was still a damn good match. I'll go 3.5 on this one. Cena winning, you know, was there, but then Vince came out and said he's going to defend the belt right now against Batista. So Batista comes out, he powerbombs Cena, wins the belt, wins the match. I thought that was cool. Like, it wasn't really necessary on the show, but it was cool. And this shows that these two will, more likely than not, have a match at Mania, which I am looking forward to. Their match at SummerSlam 08 was a great match, so I would definitely like to see them at Mania again, and it looks like it will be for a world title this time, so that's cool. But like I said, Dave winning the belt tonight was not really necessary. So anyway, damn good match to open the show. Next up was the Intercontinental title match. It was Kane versus Drew McIntyre. Crowd was not really into this match, although it was okay. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be going into it. They didn't jog Kane out. Like, he did look very credible towards Drew, and Drew did look very, very credible towards Kane, although nowadays it's not really very hard to do. Match overall, it was a bit slower. That's why the crowd did sort of fall out of it. Crowd was pretty into the first match, so in this match they were sort of in and out. They were in toward the end when Drew won. So, but Drew won good. He had Kane had him in the chokeslam. He fingered Kane in the eye and then did the DDT. So I forget what his finisher's called, but he had double underhook DDT thing. I'll give the match. I'll go 2 stars actually, since it did have some nice stuff in it. Just the crowd was not really as into it as you'd think they would have been. Up next was the Divas tag match. It was Gail, Kim, and Maryse taking on Michelle McCool and Layla. Now, this match was originally supposed to be just Maryse versus Gail Kim. However, Vicky Guerrero came out and said it's now a tag team match, so they faced off 2-on-2. This match was not very good. It was just there to fill time. Crowd was completely fucking dead for this match, and it made no sense. However, if this means that they are going to merge the Divas and the women's titles at WrestleMania, then I'm all for it. I am all for it. I've been all for that since they made the stupid Divas title. So if it means that they're going to merge them, this was worth it. If this means that they're not going to merge them, then this was just a stupid waste of time. So, match overall, like I said, wasn't very good. I'll give it a 1/4 star. In the end, Michelle won with the Styles Clash, or her version of the Styles Clash. So, the sloppy Styles Clash. I'll go a quarter of a star, and it's still lucky to get that. Trust me. Up next was an impromptu match. These guys have another impromptu match on a pay-per-view. Just announce the goddamn thing. Since they did have another good match on this show. The Miz versus MVP. Their match last month was decent. Could have been better. This month, I thought it was a good match. I thought it was really good. Had some nice back and forth stuff between the two. Some stuff we hadn't seen out of these two. The stuff even on the sidelines with Mark Henry and the Big Show when Mark Henry sort of did that dive through the barricaded area. That was really cool. I like that. Even though it's been done a million times before, it was still cool to see them going one-on-one on the sidelines. So it looks like at Mania we're going to get MVP and Mark Henry versus Big Show and The Miz, which I'm all for. MVP and Miz seem to be having good chemistry in the ring. They're having better and better matches every time they're in there. Mark Henry and Big Show can be good when they're in there with guys like MVP and Miz. So I'm all for that. It probably won't take up that much time on Mania anyway. So go for it. Just go for it. I'll give the match 2 3/4 stars. It was nice. It was a good match. So it's just I won't give it any higher than that because like all the other non-Elimination Chamber matches, the crowd was just not very into it. So. And also, it's interesting to point out that the much hyped up Batista Edge match that was all over the internet for the past week saying it's going to happen, did not happen. So I was actually hoping for Shawn Michaels versus Edge, but we didn't get that either. Regal came out at one point and was talking about NXT, which I am looking forward to, by the way, although I hope to God it's not another Tough Enough. Regal came out, plugged it. I thought that was cool. Edge came out, speared Regal, so that was a nice way to get him on the show without having to have him in a match. Although I wish they would have had him in a match, Shawn Michaels. But Shawn had his own point on the show, which I'll get to in a second. Main event, the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match. R-Truth versus CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio versus John Morrison versus Chris Jericho versus The Undertaker. Awesome effing match. I'd say last year's Chamber match maybe just a smidge better, but this one takes second best Chamber match of all time just behind that one. And this was an awesome effing match, people. This was great. I love this. Non-stop action from start to finish. The crowd was into this match, especially towards the end, but they were sort of dying out from the night. So, started off great with R-Truth and Punk. R-Truth did a sick ass flip to the outside. That was really nice looking. R-Truth gets eliminated before the third guy comes in, and then third guy's Rey. And Rey does a sick Hurricane Rana to Punk on the outside. I thought that was cool. And then Punk gets eliminated. I was pissed off at this point. I didn't know why they were, getting guys off one after the other right away. I didn't like that. And then Jericho came in, and I was hoping to God that Rey wouldn't get eliminated right then and there. So, but he didn't. And then Morrison came in, and the match got even better. And then Undertaker came in, and the match got even more awesome. So, the match turned out to be an incredible match. The last few moments with Jericho and Undertaker were great. Shawn Michaels lifts up the metal plate, comes up from under the chamber part, sweet chin music to Taker. Jericho looks shocked as hell, covers Undertaker, 1, 2, 3. Which means WrestleMania, we got Batista Cena, we got Orton and DiBiase, we got possibly Triple H and Shameus, we got Edge versus Jericho, and we got Shawn Taker 2, which is what we've wanted since last year. So, 5 awesome matches. Looking forward to Mania already. So, overall, I'll give this show, I'll go 7.5. Main event was awesome. Like I said, I'll go 4.5 stars for the main event. Main event was awesome. Opener was good. Everything in between was okay. But I'll go with 7.5 for this show. So, not really worth the $45, but definitely check out the SmackDown Chamber match at least. Peace out.